What's going on YouTube? It's Justin, and in today's video, I want to be sharing with you some of my top tips that I've used from going from a Final Cut editor all the way to a Premiere Pro one. So it's no secret that I love Final Cut Pro and have done since I became a videographer. I even said in one of my previous videos that it's the best video editing software for beginners. But when I joined Yanamize, I knew there needed to be a change. Because the team here only use the Adobe suite, I knew that being solely a Final Cut editor was gonna be difficult if I couldn't translate to a Premiere Pro one. So today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you my 5 top tips that's helped me become a lot better using Premiere Pro. Starting us off with number 1, file organization. Before you even open up Premiere Pro, it's good to get things down first. For us, we like to do a year, month, day order system. So for example, with this video, I would name the file 2022-04-17, because this is the day that I'm filming this video and it's the day that I'm gonna be editing it as well. Not only is it gonna help me when I'm organizing everything now, but let's say in 2, 3, 4 months, I decide to come back into that file, I'll be able to search for it via the date, which makes it a lot easier to know what projects are where. Moving swiftly on to tip number 2, and that is panel organization. Now, Premiere Pro can look like a big mess the moment you open up the folder, because there's so many workspaces from the learning tab, the editing tab, coloring, audio, all of it. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting. Granted, Adobe have laid it out that way, so you can just go from one part into the next part, into the next part, and it should work with your workflow. But for someone like me, who, if I've already learned a system, the best way for me to translate into another system is by trying to make it as familiar to what I already know as possible. So just like in Final Cut, on the left side, I have all of my footage. Now on the right side is where the magic happens. I've got effect controls, I've got Lumetri color, and I've got the audio track mixer all on the right side panels. I've done that to make it as familiar as possible so I can just speed up my edits. Now, the beautiful thing about Premiere Pro is that you can make the workspace work for you. So if you know that you work a lot more with color during the beginning, or if you decide you want to work on your audio first, you can place the relevant tabs that work for you in places that make it feel comfortable. My 3rd tip for beginners learning Premiere Pro is use hotkeys. Hotkeys have saved the day so many times when it comes to editing a lot quicker. I didn't know where any of the keys were on Premiere Pro, to the point where I would have to look in the manual and be like, okay, this key does this, that key does that. How am I gonna remember everything? Now for me, I've laid the keys out in a way that's more ergonomic for how I hold my hands. So for example, when I'm sitting at the desk, chopping away at the timeline, I know that my hand rests really nicely on the left side of the keyboard. So I've put all of the relevant hotkeys that I use on a daily basis, all on the left side of the keyboard to make it easier, so it's one press and it's done. And that's really helped me speed up my edits to the point where I now can crack through an edit a lot faster than when I started. My 4th tip for Premiere Pro is workflow. Doesn't matter if you're a Final Cut editor, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, you'll have a type of workflow that works best for you. So whether that's gonna be laying everything onto the timeline, cutting it up, and then going through audio and color, or doing everything all at once. I think the best thing to do is figure out the workflow that works for you. For example, for this particular video, I'm gonna be cutting up all of the A-roll, adding the B-roll, getting the final video done, and then going through color and audio to make sure everything is smooth and correct. I would rather do things in a couple of passes than do everything all at once. I found that that's the better way that I can get through an edit a lot quicker, because my mind is focused on that one task. But the main objective is to find out a workflow that works best with you, whether that's doing everything all at once or doing everything in sections, but you've got to make it your own. My 5th and final tip for Premiere Pro for beginners is get creating. It doesn't matter if you're making a 1-minute video or you're making an hour-long video. The process is still gonna be the same, but the only way that you're gonna get better at using Premiere Pro is by creating as many videos as possible. If you are creating videos on a daily basis, you're going to get better at using that software. So for me, the best thing you can do is open up Premiere Pro and start creating today. So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 5 tips that have helped me become a lot better going from a Final Cut editor to a Premiere Pro editor. Believe me, I know there is so much more that I can learn, and I plan to. I'm gonna be jumping on YouTube and still trying to hone my craft as an editor on Premiere Pro. But hopefully these tips have helped you, and if it has, let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Let me know what tip you're gonna be using right away. Or if anything, hit me up on Instagram. I'm always active there as well. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload my next video. The one after this one is gonna be a deeper dive into Premiere Pro. So if you are a beginner and you wanna learn the ins and outs of Premiere Pro, make sure you hit that subscribe button and I'll see you over there. But as always, I appreciate your time and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.